Dear students, welcome to the online education of class 7 science. My dear students, in the previous class, I was discussing about the exercise part of the lesson transportation in animals and plants. Okay, so in the previous class, I was discussing about the exercise part of the lesson. So question number 1, 2 has been completed. Now let's go for the question number 3. So what is that question number 3? Let me read the question first. Choose the correct option among the four. See, first one. In plants, water is transported through xylem, phloem, stomata, root hair. So this is very important. So as you know that there are two vascular tissues. So the in plants that water conducting tissue or the water transportation takes place through the tissue called xylem. So correct answer is xylem. So second question now. Water absorption through the roots can be increased by keeping the plants in the shade, in dim light, under the fan. So these are the three options. So absorption of water can be increased by the roots by keeping the plant in which place, whether you will keep it in the dim light or you will keep it in the shade or you will keep it under the fan. So the correct answer is under the fan. So by keeping the plant, okay, so we under the fan we can make the water absorption process more, okay, by the roots. So let me go for the question number 4 now. Okay, why is it important, why is transport of materials necessary in a plant or in an animal? Explain. So you need to explain here why transport of materials is very much necessary in a plant or in an animal. So is it necessary to transport the food materials? You have to explain. Okay, so let's go for the answer now. So transport of materials is very necessary in both plants as well as animals, as every cell needs a regular supply of nutrients. Okay, so because every cell needs the regular supply of nutrients, okay, so along with that oxygen also, so oxygen supply also should be needed. So that's why, so every cell of a plant or an organism needs the regular supply of nutrients, food item and oxygen for day-to-day processes and for releasing energy through respiration. So through the process of respiration to release the energy, so regular supply of nutrients as well as oxygen is needed, so in order to release the energy through the transpiration process. Okay, the food that we eat is broken down into smaller components. So whatever the food that we eat, that is broken down into smaller components, into smaller pieces or components to be absorbed by the cells. So that will be absorbed by the cells. When the food breaks down due to the process of respiration, it breaks down into smaller components in the digestion process. That after breakdown is completed, so that will be absorbed by the cells. So the uh, oxygen that we breathe in or inhale is also transported to all the cells of the body. How the food is transported to each and every part of the body, no? So like that, even the oxygen that we inhale, that is also transported to each and every part cell of the body. Okay, so now our body also requires a constant removal of waste materials. Here not only intake of food materials and intake of oxygen is necessary, even our body also required to remove or constant removal of waste materials is needed. Why it is needed, why we need it? Because the such waste materials such as carbon dioxide needs to be removed. So for the transport of all these materials, maybe it is food, maybe oxygen, maybe and wastes, all three. Okay, so our body has a specialized transport system. Okay, so in body at the same time, similarly in the plants also specialized system is there. So transport of water and food is accomplished with the help of complex transport system. So that's why transportation of food and water takes place with the help of complex transport system. Okay, so this is regarding the answer for the question number 4. Okay, now let's go for the question number 5 here. So what will happen if there are no platelets in the blood? Okay, this is very important question that we have to remember. Okay, so when I am discussing about the blood, I told you, so there are three types of components in the blood, that is RBCs, WBCs and platelets. Okay, so RBCs and WBCs and platelets. So what is the function of platelets is that they will stop the bleeding of the blood. So let us see the answer here. So what happens if the platelets, there are no platelets in the blood? What happens? Let's see that. If there are no platelets in the blood, then the blood would not be able to clot. The blood will not be able to clot. So no clotting process of blood takes place. So as a result, what happens? The continuous bleeding of blood takes place. A clot is formed because of platelets. If there are platelets, then only the blood is going to be clotted. So clot is formed because of the platelets. So they release blood clotting chemicals at the site of injury. Where the injury takes place, at the site of injury, they release blood clotting chemicals. So blood clotting chemicals, so whatever the clotting process needs to be done, no, for that some materials are chemicals are needed. They are going to release the blood clotting chemicals at the site of, at the place of injury or a wound. Okay, so hence these chemicals form a clot and prevent further bleeding. So because of this reason, these chemicals help to form the clotting process and prevent the further bleeding, and which leads to further problem. Okay, so that's why the clotting is very much important. If there are platelets, then only clotting takes place, then only those chemicals are released to stop the bleeding process. Okay, so dear students, let me stop here and let me continue the remaining part of the lesson, question number 6, in the next class. Okay, so write down these question answers and read it properly. Thank you and have a nice day.